Oh, that's one of my favorite stories. I think it's impossible not to see her smiling face and see her running around and acting like a normal kid and not think that that's just fantastic. Ashlyn came to our attention when she presented at Children's Mercy. She had what looked like a seizure, and they were trying to understand why that happened. So they did a CAT scan, and they found that there was bleeding on the brain. And it became pretty clear that it was from an aneurysm. At the time, she was 2.5 weeks old, and that's an exceptionally rare thing, to have a bleeding aneurysm in a newborn baby. So we arranged to have her brought here to KU so we could take a very close look at the blood vessels with the test called an angiogram to see why she would have this problem. And then the morning of the procedure, she had another seizure, and we went to the CAT scan and saw that she had bleeding again. So it was clearly telling us about the aggressive behavior of the aneurysm. So we went to angiography and confirmed that indeed there was an aneurysm there in a very unusual location for a typical aneurysm. Most aneurysms are at the bottom of the skull where the high flow blood vessels are coming in. This one was on a very far away branch towards the top of the skull. And she's so tiny to begin with, so we're talking about a very tiny blood vessel, about as far away as we could possibly consider navigating to. So ultimately, when I saw that thing there, we were thinking about what are the possibilities to treat it, because if we didn't, it would bleed to the point that she wouldn't be able to survive it. And ultimately, it became clear to me that there was a chance I could snake our tiniest catheter there. It's a very thin, flexible tube. It's designed for adult. It's really this long. We only needed this much of it for her. And we snaked it through her blood vessels into the brain, past all of the normal locations, into this very far location. And once we got there, the catheter that we needed was so small that all of the other instruments that we use to treat aneurysms wouldn't fit through this instrument. So the only thing I could do was to squirt glue inside of it. And when the glue got delivered into the catheter, it solidified inside of the aneurysm, making an internal cast, if you will, yes. And that closed it off from the inside. And then I had to quickly pull the catheter out before it got glued in there too. And the end result was that was completely closing the aneurysm from the inside in a non-invasive way. In this setting, it hadn't been done before. The rarity of it is exceptional. You don't see this problem in little babies, and so you don't have to create something. I think the creative element of it was novel, but once we came up with the plan, executing it was not as challenging as some of the other things that I have to do. So it was, a lot of things went exactly our way, no question about it. If the catheter got stuck halfway along the way, then we would have been in big trouble, because part of getting the catheter in position is you have to thin the patient's blood. If you thin the patient's blood, you better make sure you get the aneurysm closed. So yes, there were a lot of risks, but it went very smoothly. Just things were aligned on that day. Using glue in the brain is a very well-established therapy. It's just typically for completely different problems, because this problem is so rare that nobody would design a treatment for it, because it would be used once every 5 years around the world. This aneurysm in this location in a patient that young has not been described before, so I didn't perform the treatment in the hopes that somebody else says, aha, that's what I'm going to do. Okay. Nobody's going to see this anytime soon. But that being said, we're in the process of publishing it so that it's available in the literature so that people know, hey, here's an option if you ever find this.
She's wonderful. Honestly, if you didn't know, you'd never know. She counts up to 20. She actually almost 30 at this point. Knows the entire alphabet, knows the whole uppercase. She's pretty remarkable. I think that she had some awesome doctors taking care of her, really, and somebody up above looking out for her too. She's a pretty miraculous kid. When she was smaller, she was a little bit, about 6 months behind, but she caught up right around 2. So, I mean, teachers, doctors, she's right on track where she should be now. She loves to read books. She loves puzzles. She loves anything technology related. So that's pretty much about it. Normal kid. She's pretty normal for 3 years old. She's very social. She's very smart. She's very articulate. Koji actually came to her birthday party with his son. It was pretty cool. He's a great doctor. He really is. If he hadn't have taken a risk that nobody was willing to take, she wouldn't be here today. So, no, they did a great job, and I couldn't ask for more. The funny thing we've noticed here recently, she loves to play actually doctor, believe it or not. And she now, whenever you go take anyone to the doctor, she wants to help the nurses and the doctors with every bit of the procedure, whatever's going on. So, we'll see what happens. She loves her siblings. It's kind of fun because there's such a huge gap in age on all of them, and they all just dote on her, and even the 17-year-old thinks she's pretty cool, and she does the fist pumps with them and whatnot. She has had 2 MRIs since, and everything's been squeaky clean. You can't even see where the glue was anymore. So, anymore, she's totally fine. She's just on a watch for her shunt at this point. We had no idea what was going on at the time or how serious the situation really was until later. And I'm glad nobody really told us at the time, but they did a great job taking care of her, and you know, hence the reason why Koji gets birthday invitations and things like that, because honestly, if it weren't for him, we wouldn't be celebrating. She had a stroke when everything happened, and the stroke controls her right leg, her right foot. They also, when they did the Superglue, they had to go in one leg. Well, it happened to be the same leg. So that leg is just a little smaller in width, I guess, if you will, and her foot is smaller. So, but honestly, unless you knew, you wouldn't know. The neurosurgeons know, the neurologists know because they can see it, but most people don't. It affects her going up and down stairs because the strength isn't really there on the right side as much as it is on the left side. When she plays soccer, she's very much a strong left-footed kicker. But other than that, you really wouldn't know. She climbs just fine.
Yeah, I'm just okay, that's good, and we go from there. So
We'll jump up and down for you.
Yeah, you guys do that.
We will jump up and down for you.
That's a neurosurgeon's favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Do you look good?
You decided on the name?
Oh, her name's Ashlyn.
Before pretty much.
Oh,
I'm Gina, Gina.
Teacher, J-A-R-E.
She's just an absolute great too. Really.
She's amazing.
all right.
She definitely called. Okay.
Are you making it? You're kind of slow down the slide.
We need to do that on this one.
I did it! Water out there? Oh! Which slide are you gonna do?
This one?
That one?
Okay.
Show me how fast you can go.
It's too high. Look, it's too high. Watch me. Woo! Hey, somebody else is coming. Look up and down.
Let go. There you go. Let go. There you go.
Red! Green, red!
Oh.
We're skating down the road. This is fun. This is fun. Oh.
Okay, put your hands up. Okay, hold on. You're such a ham.
Yeah, I did.
You do.
Like this. Coming, so we better go.
Can you get me? Here, we'll come this way. You ready?
Good job.
Good job.
Okay, you ready?
So I'm not really sure what she's
I am.
doing.
What's that?
Okay, try again. Oh, jeez.